What has this pandemic taught you? What lessons will you take away from a time so unique? For students, how to learn is a lesson all its own. COVID has reshaped education.
Our community is so important to us.
This week, we look at the efforts to make sure what students get out of it remains the same. This is The Race. Welcome to The Race. I'm Chris Stewart. We're on the campus of Haverford College outside of Philadelphia. In a typical year, students would be here at the start of their spring semester learning in person. But while classes have largely gone virtual across all levels of education, the impact that students here are having on the families of frontline workers is very real. Finding an answer can be a challenge when the path to it is through a screen.
I don't get help from my teachers as much as I did in school.
For the mothers of cousins Dylan and Ryan, the answer to how to learn virtually is just as hard to find.
It's been pretty tough. It's hard for them to sit in front of the computer so many hours a day.
Since the start of the pandemic, the responsibilities carried by Kimberly Higginbotham and Tisha Davis have been more than most.
I work with cancer patients, so that doesn't stop just because of a pandemic.
Like their work on the front lines, parenting is a job that doesn't run on business hours.
Going to work, not always working a 9 to 5, and coming home and having to do your household duties as well as making sure that your children are not falling behind in school.
It's a situation families are feeling across America. When coronavirus forced Brett Mazarski's senior year online, he realized the challenges of virtual learning went beyond those at his school, Haverford College.
But I could only really imagine how it must have felt to be a high school student or a middle school student who could no longer attend class in person.
As the pandemic set in, he decided to offer help to those going to work each day to battle the virus on the front lines.
We developed Free for the Frontline Tutors to be able to provide a free, accessible academic resource, which would be online tutoring for the children of frontline workers.
Brett reached out to hospitals, offering the free tutoring services of his classmates at one of the most elite liberal arts colleges in the country.
I jumped on it and sent an email right away to tell them I was interested.
Word quickly spread, not just at Kimberly's hospital in Washington, D.C., but across the country, forcing this operation of a handful of Haverford students to grow. How many tutors do you have now?
Around 95 tutors, and we're still growing.
Tutors such as Harika Dabara
500
help students break through the barrier that can be a laptop.
It's one-on-one time, so it kind of removes some of the isolation that students are feeling. They're not just watching a video and doing an assignment.
She tutors Ryan and Dylan. They are two of the around 160 students this service has helped since March.
Having this backup support from the tutors has been a godsend.
Brett plans to keep Free for the Frontline Tutors going after he graduates in the spring. It would be easy to focus on what this pandemic took from his college experience, but instead, he's focusing on the lesson it's given him, one he might not have learned in a classroom.
I think what tutoring's really taught me is that when we can come together as a community, when we can recognize that we're all struggling in different ways, and those struggles are significant no matter what they are, that we can all come together and support each other and move forward in hopes of a better future.
With schools across the country holding remote classes, experts are concerned that there are students being left behind. With students missing each day, one school is turning to an old school concept. Alexa Liacko takes us to night school.
All right, friends, so we are going to get started.
When most students are getting ready for bed,
Today, you will be writing hello.
these kids are logging on for kindergarten night school.
Would you rather?
When I tell people my son is in night school and what time his school starts, they like, night school? I didn't know they had that for kindergarten.
It's a strategy that's helped grown-ups for years. Now it's helping the youngest students of KIPP Charter School in New Jersey stay on track through the pandemic.
Who's got this last row of sight words.
No, not me.
The 2-hour nightly classes allowed single mom Kimberly Hyman to keep her son in school while working overnight shifts.
And turn around, focus. I would have to make sure I was up, by 7 something to make sure he started school, and I got off at 5:30 in the morning. So it was very overwhelming, and I just couldn't do it no more.
I did school all by myself.
Kimberly says she did everything she could to get Ian logged in for his morning classes, but he ended up missing a lot of school.
I had no choice but to work. I didn't want him to be late because that's not a great way to start off your kid education. So it was just difficult.
With his attendance so inconsistent, she worried about the long-term impacts on her son's education.
I was very scared because, if they miss a day, that makes a difference.
That fear is a reality for the tens of thousands of students across the country who are not regularly logging in for remote learning. Experts say students are losing an average of 4 months of learning time because of shutdowns during the pandemic. Younger students are at a higher risk for falling behind during this time, and experts say it could take them years to catch up.
This is the age where they have to learn their letters. They have to learn their letter sounds. They learn their numbers. And then once they get up to the higher grades, they don't teach that anymore. The kids are just hopefully expected to know that.
Kindergarten teacher Meredith Egger says without the night program, her students would be missing key developmental windows to learn those critical skills.
There were some kids that weren't on from the first day of school. I've definitely seen some kids fall behind, but the evening program has really helped pick them up.
For Ian, night school has made all the difference.
Night school is more better. It has more teachers. They tell us more sight words.
Do you like it now more that your mom can be next to you and she can help you if you have a question?
Yes, I like it more because I can't be watched 24/7 on.
In the end, we can agree it's still school.
So we still need to work, and that's a pain in the butt.
But it's given families a chance to succeed during challenging times.
I feel very blessed. I love the fact that I feel like I'm a more hands-on parent now because I'm right here while he's in school.
Blessed to be part of the education helping this 6-year-old grow into the scientist he wants to be.
That's smartness.
For The Race, I'm Alexa Liacko.
Low teacher pay is a huge issue, but one district says the answer is above our heads. We're in one of the sunniest states in the country where new solar panels are helping teachers and students when The Race continues.